Okay, let's move to the next section where we actually are going to talk about the first declension. Do you see that? Yes, thanks, Claudia. We'll bring the board here. So the first declension in eta, do you all have that section?
Yeah.
Yes.
So here's where we learn what's called, oh, thanks, Claudia. Let me write one of my favorite English words. Oh, okay. Here's an English word.
Once you get going, I think you can look over that.
I don't know, I'm a slow learner, Claudia. How do you all say that word?
Paradigm. Paradigm.
Okay, I'm hearing multiple pronunciations. I like this.
Because
when I first learned this as a kid, I said paradigm, but that's actually not right.
Yeah. Well, in French, it's paradigm, so
okay.
I take the easy way out.
Well, in English, it's supposed to be paradigm. Paradigm.
Okay.
So the G is silent, and it's an interesting question. Why do we have silent letters in English? Those of you that are teaching kids. And one answer is, well, some evil person put them in there to make life difficult. But a more likely answer is that once upon a time they were pronounced, or in the language that the word came from, they were pronounced. So this actually comes from Greek. And you can tell that it was once pronounced because if you add a suffix, how do we say this word?
Paradigmatic.
Paradigmatic. So then it is pronounced. So you know that it's not sitting there. So all that to say. But a paradigm, one meaning of the word paradigm is a word with all of the different endings laid out in a row or a column, okay? A nice little block of the endings for a noun or a verb. Most of you have probably seen verbs set out like this, right? Conjugations of verbs, but you probably haven't seen it for nouns. So words that we're thinking about right now are the word declension that I know I mentioned yesterday. It has two meanings. This is the noun and the verb is decline. Nouns decline, which doesn't mean they fall over, but it means that they change their endings. And the other meaning of declension is Greek nouns are grouped into three groups depending on how their endings go. And there's the first declension, second declension, third declension. So we're going to look at the first declension right now. So the first declension. And almost all of the nouns in the first declension have the same endings. Well, there's two basic groups of endings. I'm going to write down this, and what I'm going to write first is, remember the cases? Nominative, genitive, dative. And by the way, where I went to school, Sarah, we learned them in a different order. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we learned the accusative after the nominative. That's the way we learn.
Yes. So which is the right? Well, let's not argue about what's the right way. When in America, do as Americans do, right?
Yeah, but I think it's logical to put the genitive because when you look for a word in a dictionary, you have the nominative and the genitive, and it gives you the declension. So maybe Americans are more pragmatic.
Maybe this one time the Americans got it right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yes, no, I love being in America. That's why I've been more than half my life here. So I'm totally happy to do it this way. But I agree with what you said, Helen. When you learn the nominative, the dictionary normally gives the genitive next.
Yeah, right.
And actually, if you know the nominative and the genitive, you can come up with all of the other cases.
Right.
But if you only learnt the nominative and the accusative, you'd be stuck. So actually, I think this is the best way.
Yeah,
so,
practical.
Yes, Helen, how would you like to say this word?
Víi.
Víi, good. Claudia, you were going to say something? No. Okay, now I'm going to see if I left enough room to put the other cases. This is going to be a bit of a squeeze. This is embarrassing.
Amazing on the board.
Feel free to laugh uproariously. No one's laughing. Oh yeah, I do hear a little laughter.
Final sigma, right?
Final sigma, as we know, at the end of a word, Greek sigma looks more like an S. Jackie, you want to say the genitive here?
Vinos, vines.
There's no N in it.
BS.
BAs, that's it, good. So we've got BA, BAs, and then we've now left myself a little more room for the dative. And Janet, you want to say that one?
BA.
Good. And the dative singular looks really similar to the nominative singular, Janet, except?
The iota subscript.
Right. Okay, let me do the last case, Sarah. You want to say that?
BN.
Good. So I would say a really good thing to do is to say all four. BA, BAs, BA, BAN. You want to all do that together? Go.
BA.
BA.
BS.
BN.
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 Transcontinental paradigm. I like it. Now, this is only the first half, right? So what we did was the singular.
Singular.
Sing for short. And so over here, most nouns you can have one of them or you can have several. So you have to have a plural set as well, unless it's a proper name. If it's Achilles, there was only one of him, so he would only have a singular paradigm. But this word, by the way, what does this word mean?
Force.
It means force.
Right.
So you can have a force or you can have forces. So let's do the plural here. So Bill, this is going to be your one.
I have a nice diphthong here.
Yes, the first diphthong of the day, Bill.
BA. Isn't that a diphthong at the end? BA?
The diphthong at the end. No, try that. The diphthong a little different from what you said.
BI?
BI, good. BI. This is, in English, this would be an AI or an AE, I. Most diphthongs, you can actually work them out by pronouncing the vowels separately. So RE, IE, right? BI, BI. Okay, good. Back to Helen, the genitive plural.
Biaon.
Yeah, this is a mouthful of vowels.
Yeah, biaon.
Yes, biaon.
Mm-hmm.
And again, different people pronounce when you have vowels together. These are not a diphthong, right?
No.
So there's no diphthong here. So it actually is a three-syllable word. Biaon. And when I pronounce this, I would put a little break between the alpha and the omega. So that was how I was taught to say biaon. Some people kind of slur them, biaon. I don't think I'm bothered either way, but long as we realize it's three separate syllables. Okay, Jackie, we have two ways of doing your one, so let's do the longer one first. How would you say that, Jackie?
Bios.
No, we've got the BA, and then that's a sigma. I should make it a little more distinctive.
Bios. Oh.
There's no O in it.
BAC.
That's it. Excellent. BAC. Or actually, I should say BAC. BAC. Sometimes, I'm going to put a parentheses here and a new. If the next word started with a vowel, very often in Homer, there would be a new at the end of the word. Why might anyone guess why that might be? If this word ending in a vowel is followed by a word beginning with a vowel, a new would be put in between.
Yeah, to pronounce it better, yeah.
Yeah, ancient Greek, especially in Homer, did not like to have one word ending with a vowel and the next word beginning with a vowel.
Yeah.
No.
Because it would be kind of vowel plus vowel. They just felt uncomfortable about it. One way of getting around that is to put this new in here. It's actually called a new movable, which means you can have it or you can remove it. We'll actually see maybe one or two of those today in Homer.
Sort of like and.
Yes, exactly. Good, Bill. So we don't say apple. Yeah, what do we say?
And.
An apple. Good. So we can say that's like I've never heard of it called a movable N, but I guess it is. Yeah.
And it's even just before vowel sounds, right?
Vowel sounds, right. So
Certain age or.
no, that's exactly right. Yeah, good.
Brilliant.
Good, Bill. Yes. Extra. Do we give extra credit in this course?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, Jackie, the long version of yours, there's for various reasons, there's a short version as well.
Oh, joy.
And so it's just the one you said, but chop off the final E, if you can remember what the first one was you said. Jackie, so how would you say that?
BAs.
Excellent. Good. BAs. Good. And notice that just like in the dative singular, there was an iota subscript. There's an iota subscript here, but we don't generally pronounce it, right? Just partly because it's hard to do and partly because it eventually stopped being pronounced anyway. Okay, so these are the dative plural. And then the last one, the accusative plural, is
Okay, bias.
bias. Good. Good. Okay, so that's 8 forms of the word for force. I'm going to say the plural ones, and then let's say them together. And for the dative plural, we'll just go with the first one, okay? So bi, biaon, bac, bias. We say that together? Go.
BI.
Bias.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, so if we were having quizzes in this course, the next day there'd be a quiz on give me the complete paradigm for BA, and then you would have to write down the cases and the singular and the plural, and then you would write down these 8 forms. And then if the teacher was really strict, you'd have to get all the accents right and the iota subscripts as well. But they are important. While we're looking at this, Janet, can you see any forms of the word that look really, really similar but are not quite the same?
Really, really similar, but not the same.
They're very similar but not quite the same.
In what sense?
Well, they're spelt almost identically the same. Like we said this one, the nominative singular, looks really like the dative singular, right?
Yeah, with the
But you have the iota, yeah.
There you have the iota subscript.
One other pair that looks really, really similar.
Oh, all right. Here, then let's see. Really, really similar. You can. All right, let's go with genitive singular BS
Singular.
and BAC.
And BAC, or even closer, would be this one
Yes.
over here, right?
BS.
Second form of the dative plural, BAs. The only difference is the iota subscript.
Yes, very
So
important.
it's important, even if it wasn't pronounced. Now, the fact that it wasn't pronounced later means that you could have got, theoretically, ambiguity. You hear someone say BAs and you don't know if it's genitive singular or dative plural. And so in later times, sometimes there might have been confusion for a scribe who was copying them. But for our purposes, they are distinct, but they're very close. So I'll have to say, one of the things about Greek is the fine details.
So this iota subscript only comes in dative?
I would say 99% of the time it doesn't come in the other cases. I think that would be right, only in the dative. There might be an exception or two.
But in this, I'm thinking about like masculine ones, right? Oh yeah, dative. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I think, and in verbs, there's very special places where it comes in verbs. So you could consider it when you see an iota subscript in a noun. The chances are probably, with a high degree of likelihood, that it's a dative, singular or plural.
Right,
Have a
right,
little
especially
plan
in
there.
nouns, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a question, Graeme, from
Yes.
Jack?
Oh, hi. So is this a matter of memorization, or is there a structure that I just am not seeing in terms of manipulating these nouns according
No,
to?
it's for now. It's definitely memorization.
Okay. Right.
No, don't try and find a rhyme or reason for why they are the way they are.
Okay.
There's nothing in the English language, I don't think, that would help us. You can't say, oh yeah, like this one here, be our own. Oh, that looks exactly like a genitive plural in English, because I don't think it does. So no, Jackie, it's a good question, and we hear people putting down memorization, but I actually think memorization is really, really important. And for languages like this, we just have to. It's like your multiplication tables. Did you memorize those once?
You have to.
Yeah, but we forget.
So this has to be memorized. It has to be sort of automatic eventually, so that when you're reading a piece of Homer, you see a noun, you sort of have to know right away, oh, there's a genitive singular. There must be some kind of possession or separation going on. So yes.
Okay.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Over time, as you learn more paradigms, you will begin to see some patterns that will make each paradigm easier.
Yes.
It won't be totally different. Like that.
Yes.
That ending on the genitive plural will come to look very familiar. Okay. So some things will change paradigm to paradigm, but so the first few ones will feel very labor intensive, but then it'll get easier.
Yes. Good point. Did we lose William?
He will come back. He's here.
Okay. Helen, yes.
Yeah, and then we have to be careful too, because most of names ending with eta will do as BA, but we found that, for example, Gune, we thought it would be like BA, and then it's Gunaikos at the genitive, so right away we knew that it was not following the same declension.
Now, Helen, when were you looking at that word?
Oh, when we already looked at declension a little bit together, and then we thought that we would pick out words ending with eta, and then we found out that Gune is the genitive Gunaika, so it doesn't follow the same declension.
So you found a kind of an exceptional word.
Right.
Obviously, it's a very common word, Gunai, the word for woman.
Yeah, it's.
Yes, it's one of the very few that doesn't follow this pattern.
Yeah, right.
As in any language, there are exceptions, but what you said is most words, 95% maybe of words ending in eta, will go the same way as BA.
Right.
Then, as Claudia said, when we move to the second declension, and even the third, there will be things that remind you of the first declension, so there will be some similarities. So yes, it's not all random, definitely not.
Definitely a system.
There's a system, yes.
And it's interesting to look at vowels within a paradigm and across a paradigm. So it's interesting to see what kind of vowels we have in the singular, and then the quality and the nature and length of the vowels in the plural, things like that. So to start noticing those kind of patterns is really interesting.
Yes.
And
go on, Guna.
And seeing them in sentences makes it more tangible in learning. Instead of just memorizing everything but not applying to anything else.
I agree. The context is so important and valuable. And just quickly, based on what Claudia said about vowels, in the singular of this of BA.
Oh, your battery is running low.
Okay, hold on. Lift your hand.
Okay.
Sorry. I'll click that.
Okay. Notice what's the vowel that. Well, the eta occurs in all of the forms of the singular of BA, right? The eta.
Yeah.
BA, BA, BAN. In the plural, three of the four now have an alpha, right?
Right.
BI, BION, and then the dative still has an alpha. and then bias in the accusative.
Right.
Now, here's a slightly confusing thing. If you learn Attic Greek, spoken by the Athenians, that would have had an alpha in all 4 of the plural forms.
Right. Bias.
Bias.
Yeah.
So all that to say, that's very important what Claudia said about vowels, looking at the vowels, and I can tell you clues about what the noun is.